and welcome back to the Persist Kids Leadership Program. Today we're going to do Lesson 7, Mistakes Can Be Good. Everyone makes mistakes at some time or another. Did you know that making a mistake can be a good thing? That's right, a good thing. Usually, most people think mistakes are bad, but mistakes can be good when we learn from them. Also, sometimes really cool things are discovered by mistake. We're going to read a story called Andy the Ant, but before we do, let's put our imagination caps on. One day, Andy the Ant was out hunting for food in his backyard. At first, he didn't see anything, but then he smelled it. A barbecue, yummy! There will probably be lots of crumbs on the ground for us to eat, he said. His tummy started growling. Just then, he saw it. A very large breadcrumb falling from the sky, and it landed right next to him. There was a loud boom as it hit the ground. Wow, it's 3 times my size. That will last a really long time. He picked it up and lifted it up. He headed off to his house with it safely balanced on his back. Pop will be so happy when he sees it, he exclaimed. But as he approached the opening to his house and started to walk through it, he couldn't go any farther. The crumb was just too big. Now what can I do? He sat down with his hands under his chin. Just then, Barry the Beetle walked by. What's the matter, Andy the Ant? I found the biggest crumb to bring home, but it can't fit through the door. Barry the Beetle scratched his head. What if we make the door bigger? Andy said, if we make the door bigger, then we'll have to get a new door, and Dad says they're expensive. But what if we cut the crumb in 2? Andy the Ant said, that way it will fit through the door, and I will have an extra piece to share with somebody else. Good idea, Barry the Beetle said. Andy the Ant put the crumb down, and Barry broke it in 2 by sitting on it. There, he said. Here you go. Oh, thank you. Andy decided to give Barry one of the pieces for his help. I haven't had my lunch yet, and I'm sure this will hit the spot. When Andy went inside to show the crumb he found to his dad was really happy. Wow, he said, not only did you find a crumb for dinner, you also found a way to get it through the door. Instead of being upset that it broke in 2 pieces, you shared some with a friend. I am so proud of you. Thanks, Dad. Andy was very happy. So, why was Andy the Ant happy when he found the crumb from the barbecue? He was hungry, so he was really happy to have found it. Why couldn't Andy the Ant get the crumb through the door? The crumb was too big and it wouldn't fit. Can you think of other ways that Andy the Ant could have gotten the crumb through the door? And why was Andy the Ant's daddy happy? He was happy because he shared some with his friend. All right, let's move on to activity 1. And for all the activities in this book, you can do them by yourself or with a partner. Pretend to travel to a faraway land to a castle for the king's birthday. Come up with an idea for a really nice present, something you think the king would really like. Load up the present and get on your horse to the castle. When you get there, you're told it's not the king's birthday after all. The messenger made a mistake and it's really the queen's birthday. What can you do now? Will you still be able to give the queen a present? So you can go ahead and act out what you would do in this situation. And you could even draw it and write a few sentences. You can go ahead and complete activity 1 now by pausing the video here. Amazing job! Let's move on to activity 2. Pretend or really draw a picture of a beautiful rainbow. Uh-oh, you somehow tripped over a bowl of black paint. So now your rainbow has a big black circle over it. What will you do now? Should you fix it? Why or why not? So friends, you can take some time now to draw a picture of your rainbow. And then you can draw a mark with a black crayon or marker or pen to be almost like as if paint had spilled on it. And then you can decide what you're going to do with your picture and whether you're going to fix it. You can go ahead and pause the video here to complete activity 2. Fantastic! Let's move on to the next activity, activity 3. Did you know that Play-Doh was discovered by accident? It was originally created as a cleaning product for wallpaper. The people who found it instead realized that school children were using it to create arts and crafts. They took out the soap, added colors and some perfume so that it smelled nice, and as a result, it became a popular toy. Isn't that cool? Something that was originally used to clean walls became Play-Doh? Now it's your turn. Take some time to create a really fun toy. It could be something that is like a toy you already have, or it could be something different. You can take time to draw and write about whatever toy you come up with. You can pause the video here to complete activity 3. Spectacular job! Let's move on to the last section for today, which is activity 4. Have you ever made a mistake? What happened? How did it feel? And did it end up being a good thing or a bad thing? And why? You can go ahead and answer the questions that are part of this worksheet. Thanks so much for joining me for today's lesson, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.